Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Arkariem. Karie Gonia and Edgar Stephens, the two of us together are Arkariem, and our format is to ask one another a question about a specific subject, cover it from a point of view of head, heart, and spirit, and just talk round robin and see where we go. Today's topic is presence. Before we get into our questions, we're going to introduce ourselves. Karie, can you tell everybody who you are, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Karie Gonia and I'm a facilitator in a therapy called Family Constellation Therapy. I help people clean up intergenerational trauma.
And I am Edgar Stephens. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and I offer coaching and consulting services to individuals, to nonprofit organizations, and to businesses. Together, we are Arkariem, and we have a very good time asking one another these questions. Today is all about presence. Karie, do you wish to ask me a question first, or do you want me to ask you my question?
Yes, I've been dying to start. What is presence? I'm curious what you're going to say.
Presents. Okay, so presents. Presents are the things that you get at Christmas time that make you so happy. Well, so there's a book that's one of my favorite books, and it was written years and years ago, and it's called The Precious Present. And it's a really wonderful, simple book, and it's all about being in the present moment and the not only the joy, but the gifts that you get from being in the present moment. So for me, defining presence means that I am breathing deeply, breathing right here. I am completely focused and open to the moment, meaning Karie's right here, even though I'm speaking into a computer camera. I am absolutely open to what's going on right here. I'm aware of my surroundings outside the window, in every part of the room, in every part of the house. I am aware of all of these things, and that presence allows me to be with whatever feeling is coming up. It's allowing me to be with whatever thought comes up. But in presence, I'm not holding on to the thought. I'm not holding on to the feeling, and instead I'm allowing it to move through, just like if I were watching a movie, because life can be compared to watching a movie, except we're living in it and it feels ever so much more real. It can be, we can make it similar to riding along on a car journey and you're looking out the window and watching things pass by. You don't try to hold on to the moment before. You don't try to move too fast into the moment ahead of us, although kids will say, are we there yet? Are we there yet? You stay with the moment of watching what's going on, feeling what's going on, breathing into it without trying to hold on to the past and without trying to be in the future. Presence is, for me, is all about being in this moment and feeling the truth of whatever is happening in this moment, whether it makes me feel joyous and happy, or if it makes me sad and thoughtful, or if it makes me very angry. Whatever the thing may be, it is my gift, my ability to feel the presence of the moment that allows me to enjoy the quality of my life. So just one word about that, and then I'll turn it over to you. Quality of life, I really think, comes from having great presence, because when we're always in the future or we're always in the past, we're not enjoying what the moment is bringing. And enjoyment of the moment does not necessarily mean that all of it is, whoop-de-doo, isn't that wonderful? The joy of the moment can actually be watching something that is painful. But being present to that, I get to experience all of the feelings, all of the emotions that are human. And that is my gift. It is my right. It is my responsibility to feel all of that and allow it to move through. Because when I put something at a distance from me, when I make it separate from me, then what I am creating in that separation is less presence, because I no longer want for this thing to be a part of my existence, part of my experience. And so then in creating those blocks, that starts taking up space in my mental capacity, starts taking up place in my heart. And then spirit has a much more, spirit doesn't have a difficult time, but I have a difficult time hearing what spirit is saying, because I'm so much in the present, I'm so much in the past, or I'm so much into avoiding what is showing up in my present moment. So for me, presence is allowing whatever it is that you're seeing, feeling, hearing, experiencing, and being open to all of that experience. That is pure presence. I will not say that I'm in it 100% of the time, but it is my practice to be in this place as much as possible. And I like to start with the simple things: a deep breath, paying attention to the wind blowing, hearing a bird call, taking a look at the leaves blowing. Whatever the simple thing is that you can focus on and then allow yourself to expand from there, you can find joy in the moment, no matter what's happening in the external world, because presence allows us to make choices in the moment about so many things rather than allowing the external world to make the choices about our internal experience. To me, all of that is what presence is.
I love that. And the simple things ground you, right? They orient your nervous system to the here and now. So that's powerful. It helps keep you obviously in your body and not, anxious in the past or anxious about the future.
And Karie, there's something you said there. I always say, so, my expertise in the area of body language, I believe that the body is always talking to us. It's always telling us something about our experience. It will tell us if something is out of alignment, tells us if we're hungry, tells us if our head hurts, tells us if we've been holding our neck the wrong way or slumping over too much. Our body is always talking to us. However, when we're not present to what our body is saying, we miss a lot of cues, and then we don't course correct. We don't make an adjustment in what we're thinking, what we're feeling, how we're experiencing the moment. So body talking, being present to that, is also a great gift and a responsibility. Now I'm present to the garbage truck outside. Isn't it wonderful? Sometimes we have these, it's all a gift. Sometimes it's the train. Sometimes it's the garbage truck that comes.
I'm always so grateful. They're taking away clutter and energetic debris. So it's all a gift.
All right. With that, my question to you, Karie, and this is in your wheelhouse. So you are a practitioner of family constellation therapy. Now, I know that in family constellation therapy, there is a lot of work around generational trauma. So how does presence play a part in healing past trauma, whether it's generational, our ancestors, or even in our own past? What does presence, how does it play a part in that healing?
I feel like it's the most powerful part, because so many of us, through addictions, social media, whatever, check out, or again, kind of get on autopilot. I've been in autopilot before. It's survival mode. So presence in my work, in the actual constellation itself, the work is pretty physical. So I love that you brought up that your body is always talking to you, because I think that's the piece we miss, that all of that trauma, even on a cellular level, even the generational trauma, we're carrying it. And oftentimes we're not aware that we're carrying it because we don't slow down enough to be present with, okay, why does my knee always hurt? Why is it always on my left side versus my right side? And so in my work, being present is becoming a witness to the pain that you're carrying, the patterns that you're carrying, if they belong to you or if they belong to mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, however far back. But I think presence is really powerful. Kind of what you said, it brings you back into the now moment. It's interesting. I'm staying with my family right now, and so I'm with my little nephews who are 9 and 16, and the 16-year-old. This week we were in the kitchen and we were having, getting ready to have dinner, and just chatting about our days and chatting about school. And he just kept saying, "Oh, I want to be an adult. Like, I want to be big." And I started laughing, because I was like that my whole childhood, of like, oh, destination. When I get here, this is going to be rad. And so I was like, buddy, just be present with everything that's coming up for you and everything that's changing, like day to day. Because again, if we're not feeling all of those things, especially the painful stuff, that's how it gets stuck.
I agree with you, and you hit something really key there that I know I sometimes struggle with as well. I'm a high level producer. I like to I like to be working on projects. I like to get things done. I like to feel accomplished. It's something that I've had in me since I was little. And sometimes just taking a break from that and really being in the present moment. You know, Karie, you know, I love to get away into nature. I love to get away into little cabins and disconnect and turn off all of my, you know, all of my technology and everything and just be. I would like to be doing it even more often because it brings such a feeling of joy. And yet that brings me to this very subject that I was going to say. It's about not wishing to be somewhere else. If I'm wishing to be in nature, wishing to be in the little cabin, wishing to, then I am taking something away from this present moment. And I'm aware of that. So it's this balancing act. And so often I have clients that will come and say, well, I will be happy when. I will be happy when the house, the money, the career, the relationship, the thing, the whatever it may be. And that some time in the future, that presence is going to be informed, or that something in the future is going to be informed by what we're feeling in the present moment. So if in the present moment we're always waiting for the future to feel that good feeling, then more than likely, once we get to that future moment and we get that thing, there may be that moment of, oh, I got it. I got the Academy Award. You know, I got the Academy Award. But we hear this story over and over and over again, is 2 weeks later after the big accomplishment, there's that letdown feeling. Well, what am I supposed to want now? What am I supposed to get to? This was the goal. This was, you know, getting the Olympic medal, being in the Olympics, whatever. This was supposed to be the thing that, you know, made me happy. I remember someone years ago that I was working with, and they said, oh, you know, if I could be in a Broadway show, once I'm in a Broadway show, man, I wouldn't ask for anything else in my life. Ran into that person years later. I'd done several Broadway shows, and they were like, yeah, you know, it wasn't everything I thought it was cracked up to be. After a while, it became a job. And it's like, yeah, you vision into the future and make it be something that's going to allow you to escape the feeling of the present and presence. And then you take that feeling into the future, and you've actually conditioned yourself to be someone who's always looking to the future to take you away from the pain or take you away from the thing that's in the present moment. And so it is a lifelong goal and a lifelong exercise to be in presence. And again, not mastered it. I say it quite often, but practicing. That's our job. Be the good student. Be the good student.
I find for me, I had something really magical happen yesterday, and it kind of jolted me of like, oh, I haven't felt super present lately because I've just been busy and kind of running around, and again, getting in autopilot in those preconditioned kind of programs, especially generational programs. And I found yesterday, I was like, wow, when you're not present, you miss the magic of life and connection and spirit talking to you through signs and synchronicities. So it was a little bit of a wake-up call to really, again, ground, get in the body, keep your eyes open, keep your heart open, you know, because there's just so much magical, wondrous communication that's happening around us at all times. And I think, again, if we're looking forward, I'm guilty of that too, or looking behind, that becomes a job.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And when and you said it right there. I think, you said it way better than I did. I gave a long explanation. Presence is magical because it's like, you know, kids are in presence, and they notice all of the little things, and they're in the moment, and their emotions can change so quickly. It is a very magical thing. With that, if anyone out there has a subject or a question for us, you can always reach us at talktoarkariem@gmail.com. That's TALK, the number 2, arkariem@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, like to know what you would like, hear us speak about in terms of bridging this gap between the head, the heart, and the spirit. And now, in our present moment, I always love when Karie takes us out with something beautiful about the subject we're speaking about. So, Karie, can you take us out with something about presence, please?
Don't fear it. Be present, come back to the here and now. It will actually probably bring you way more peace than if you're worrying about something that happened previously or worrying about getting to some magical destination. Get grounded, get in your body and stay open.